Welcome back to a brand new episode of Gen Z BTC. It's me, Satoshi Guapamoto, your favorite Bitcoin educator in the space. And today I'm telling you that Bitcoin is a bank inside of your brain. Bitcoin is $1 billion inside of your brain. We're going to go over some times in history where people had to flee their country, whether through threat of a hostile government or threat of any sort of hostile regime, and they were not able to take all their stuff with them. Okay? If you are a Jewish person in World War II and you're trying to escape persecution, you're not going to be able to bring your real estate. You can't bring your house. You can't bring your apartment building. You can't bring your small business. You can't bring your bars of gold. You can't bring your barrel of wealth. You can't bring your bricks of money. You can't bring your car. You can't bring anything of value with you. It is the clothes on your back. And that's it. And you've got to try to make it. You've got to try to go to another place, maybe where they don't speak your language, and you are now a refugee, and you have nothing, and there's a language barrier. You are now far below the poverty line, and you're trying to figure it out. Is there a way that they could take something that has no mass, something that has no weight, across country lines, and then start over? Not from zero, but to start over from what they had when they left. That is Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, you're able to move a monetary asset through cyberspace. Not just through cyberspace, but you can have it inside of your head. This is called a brain wallet. How do you do this? Every Bitcoin wallet, right? You don't even need a Bitcoin wallet to do this. They just make it easy for you. The whole point of this device is to generate a seed phrase that represents your keys. It represents the keys to your Bitcoin house. This represents the keys to your value. You don't need this physical piece of hardware. You can throw that in the trash once you write down and memorize the 12 words that correspond to your Bitcoin stack. This is called a recovery seed or a recovery phrase. These 12 words can be memorized. You can then get on a plane, and if you get anywhere that has an internet connection, you just brought your life savings with you. Past TSA, past any sort of checkpoint, past anywhere. You can drive over a state line. They can pat you down and check everything. As long as they can't read your mind, you just brought all of your economic value with you. So I just want to go through some of these times in history. Jewish people in World War II, all right? Many of them had to flee Nazi Germany. They could not bring their property or their businesses or their savings or their collector's art or their jewelry or their bank accounts or anything like that, or their stocks or their 401ks or their pensions. It was over. You get zero. Vietnam, the Vietnam boat people, all right? Basically, after the fall of Vietnam, or some city in Vietnam in 1975, millions of Vietnamese fled the country in overcrowded boats to escape persecution by the new communist regime. Many of them were from wealthy or middle-class families who had accumulated significant wealth during the war, but they were forced to abandon everything. All right, a lot of these people ended up in the United States. Some people ended up in Canada and Australia, and they were forced to start over with nothing, from zero, with a language barrier. Zero. You get to keep zero. Cubans, post-revolution. All right, this is the Cuban Revolution in 1957 when Fidel Castro came to power. Many members of the upper class and business owners opposed the communist the communist view that the country was taking on, and they fled the country. And Castro nationalized the government and private property and homes, land, businesses. You weren't able to take anything. So if you tried to leave there, you were left with zero. You have to start over. You try to move to places like Florida or some places that are nearby the Americas and just try to make it. All right. Syrians, all right, from 2011 started bombing Syria. All right. The civil war in Syria. So when you're living in a place that has civil war, you're not really going to be able to take a lot of your stuff. Right. Your stuff's getting bombed or destroyed. Anything that you can take with you. If you're like on an evac chopper, they're going to be like, hey, that's a nice little sack of gold you got there. We're going to take that and then you can get on. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Let me hold that for you, little bro. Yeah. We got a seat right here on the back of this Apache for you. Give me that satchel. Just give me that satchel. You know what I'm saying? So When you're in a place with civil war, let's be real, you get zero. You're not taking anything with you. Iranian Revolution. When the Iranian Revolution started, they ousted the, I don't know if it was the Shia or the Shah regime, replaced it with an Islamic Republic. Many Iranians who were connected to the previous regime basically got all of their stuff taken from them. And they tried to evac as well as they could to America or other places nearby. Either way, you didn't get to keep what you had. You got smoked. You have zero. Rwandan genocide, the escapees of the Rwandan genocide, right? Millions of people died here, but the ones who did get away, who tried to escape to Uganda or Tanzania or Democratic Republic of the Congo or wherever they could make it, they didn't get to keep their land or their businesses or their homes. They were forced to leave everything behind in order to survive. They get a big fat zero. They get a big zonk. All right, Venezuelan refugees from 2015 to the present, because again, their currency is being completely debased, hyperinflation, food shortages, violence. That's why all these people talking about, Aurora, Colorado, or places in Utah being taken over by Venezuelan gangs or whoever they are, Colombian, whatever. They're all fleeing their countries that are getting smoked. Like they can't live there, right? Like, all these people blame refugees for coming to America. Why do you think they're coming here? You know what I mean? It's the most prosperous place compared to where you have nothing. So they're fleeing certain death, almost certain death, to come here to try to live, right? And guess what? You start at zero in the United States. You start with zero, big fat zero. Number 8, Palestine, right? Whether you like it or not, the Palestinians are getting smoked. And if they want to try to get out or take any of their stuff with them, they can't really do it. So they get a big, fat goose egg. And another one I didn't even write up here, Ukraine. A lot of Ukrainians. You try to leave Ukraine, guess what? You have nothing. You try to leave North Korea, you're not going to be leaving with anything. You're leaving with nothing. If you're trying to flee China, you're leaving with nothing. If you're fleeing Russia, you are leaving with nothing. If you have your Bitcoin seed phrase, if your net worth is 50,000 of whatever your local currency is, and you have Bitcoin, and that's the amount of value that you have in your Bitcoin, and you put everything in the Bitcoin before you go ahead and make your move, you're deciding, you know what? This is it. This is the day. Today's the day. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out or I'm dying trying. When you get to where you're going, if you can make it, you're giving yourself a leg up because you're not starting from zero. You're starting with at least a little bit of something that is universally accepted. It is accepted everywhere on earth. You can't go to Russia with Chinese currency. You can't do it. They're going to say, hey, you dumb idiot. We don't accept that here. Get out of my face. All right. If you go to the United States, go to the United States with some rupees. Please do it and tell them, hey, I want to buy some food, little bro. Here's 1,500 big ones. You know what I mean? The cashier is going to laugh at you, call you a goofy, and then probably call the police. And they're going to put you in a chokehold. Might even kill you. So it's common sense. All right, I'm just going to say it. It's common sense. If you are threatened by your government, you're going to store your value in Bitcoin because that's the only way you can protect yourself. Because your money might get bailed in. A bail-in, we usually hear about bailouts. A bail-in is when your money in the bank is captured and held in order to keep the bank solvent. All right? This has happened many times. Foreign countries. I believe this happened in Egypt. Turkey. I believe it happened in Turkey as well. Turkish lira. Bitcoin is the safest way to protect your monetary value. It is the safest way to protect your monetary value into the future. Bitcoin is not just a way for you to transfer value to anyone. It's a place for you to transfer value anywhere and anytime. Anytime. In the future, the Bitcoin network is going to keep pumping. It's gotten too big. The network effects are too big. No one's stopping it. Otherwise, governments would have already shut it down. That's just how it is. So if you want to transfer your value to anyone, anywhere, anytime, you're going to put your economic energy into Bitcoin. So that way you have more versatility in the way that you're able to move your value. You have more versatility in how you're able to protect and preserve your value, your economic power, your purchasing power, your future promises of wealth. Just wanted to go over that really quick. Again, we're in a very privileged situation. Many Americans, you don't think about this kind of stuff because you can't even fathom having to exit your country. But who knows? That day might be right in front of you. You really never know, okay? With how crazy things are getting, how polarized people are, you really never know. It just takes one guy or gal to get in there and perpetuate a steady stream of policies that might not be too great for the living conditions of a certain section of the population. And then they feel like they have to escape somewhere. You never know. It could happen to you. Sure, all these guys probably thought it would never happen to them. Look how they ended up. So that's all I really have to say. This has been Gen Z BTC. I'm your host, Satoshi Guapamoto. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Drop some comments, all right? Don't be scared. Don't be terrified of me. I understand. I'm a goat, but I'm also a nice guy. So if you say something really, really, really stupid, it's fine, because I will try to help you, to guide you towards some deeper knowledge, some deeper understanding, some deeper truth. Now, if you're extremely arrogant and you say something stupid, I'm going to cook you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure you don't do that again. But still, I need the engagement, so drop some comments. This has been Gen Z BTC. Stack sats or die trying.